So this morning I launched my book, a New Adelphi book called Europe's Strategic Future, From Crisis to Coherence, with an emphasis very much on the question mark that follows coherence, because of course the story of Europe's past efforts to act more coordinatedly and cohesively on the international stage is something of a frustrating story of grand announcements and rather underwhelming follow-up. However, the argument that I'm making in the book is that actually there are two critical drivers of change which might lead to a re-evaluation of the utility and effect of EU members' projection of their interests on the international stage. And the first is simply that events force reactions. And if you look at the events of the last sort of decade of crises, but in particular the last few years, following, for example, the annexation of Crimea in 2014, the UK's departure from announced intention to depart from the European Union in 2016, and then the election of a US president in the White House that basically follows an agenda, according to him, of Brexit plus. This is sort of forcing some pretty fundamental discussions about European strategic autonomy, what that means in practice, and what resources that is required to deliver that. And then the second key driver is that the nature of the challenge is changing, and that while there will be no escaping the utility of hard military resources and capabilities, what we understand as threats to national security, with the evolution of hybrid warfare, of concerns about election interference, of concerns about malign foreign investment in targeted strategic sectors, all of this is going to push to the forefront the utility of the EU's central institutions, because the way that you push back against concerns of national security that target economic concerns is through coordinating and monitoring mechanisms where the EU's central institutions has a very big role to play.